Welcome to the Northerners Podcast. We're two friends in fiber who knit, craft, crochet, and talk everything in between. My name is Jocelyn, and my co-host is.
Diana.
So, public service announcement. If it looks like I'm not moving a lot, I'm not moving a lot. No, I have not injured myself. I feel like we need to stress this up front because I am klutzy. I do that a lot.
It is a common thing.
It is a common thing. There is a very real downside to vision loss that most people don't talk about, and that's the dizzy factor. I was talking with Diana, and I described it as my standard day is when you've gone drinking to the bar and you realize you have to stop because you're getting dizzy. That's a good day. I'm now 3 shots past a good day dizzy, and I didn't do anything. I just got out of bed. That's all I did. There's no booze in my system. But I'm using surfaces like my armrests to tell me what's upright. So I'm not moving a lot today. So it's not, you haven't gone crazy. Jelson's just having a bad day with her vision. It happens. Nothing we can do about it. Oh, my nose.
Boo. Eyeballs.
Boo. It is an unspoken, unfun part about it. So whatever. But I know somebody might see and they might get concerned. Nope, I didn't. I have not thrown out my back. I've not fallen downstairs. I'm not like, what are the other things I've done to myself in the last year and a bit? My God, I am so klutzy. No, I'm good.
Sprained ankles.
Yeah, those are common. However, today I have a bevy in my cup. You have bevies. We've had breakfasts. We should
Mhm.
do a podcast and talk about stuff. I don't know how
Let's
many
do the
things you've
thing.
got. What are you drinking today?
Not that many. It was a short week, so I do not have that many. My Notion
5 days.
document tells me I
Five
have
days.
two things. I have two things in Whip It or Rip It. I had a
5
rather
days is
ambitious
so
Whip It or
long.
Rip It in my defense. Um, so not a lot else got done.
All right, fair enough. Unshockingly, I have more things than you. Uh,
Are we ever shocked by this?
it's usually only shocking when it's the other way around, but it's normal. You said you had two things plus Whip It or Rip It?
I do indeed. Okay, sorry, I'll stop faffing about with the thumbnail now.
That's okay. I was following clickbait YouTube videos. I can't help it. Wool needle hands, they've got me, man. They've got me. It's just a thing. All right. I'm going to enjoy some delicious hot water, honey, and lemon out of my Bootylicious mug.
A good mug. I finished my coffee during the break.
So good. I will talk about my sock first, I think, because I've got a sock, I've got square update, and I got the shawl and the thumbnail before Whip It or Rip It. So I'm only one ahead of you,
Oh,
but that's still ahead of you. It's been 5 days. Even I can only do so much in 5 days. 5 days. To be honest, I probably could have done more, but I've absolutely upped my streaming schedule, which takes a lot out of me.
this just takes a lot of time.
It does. I'm up to 4 hours, 3 days a week, 4 days a week, 4 days a week.
It's a lot of hours. They add up.
They add up. I'm still really enjoying it, so I'm very happy that I'm doing it, but oh man, my chat's full of lurkers. I have no one to talk to most of the time. I just talk to myself for 4 hours.
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
it's fine.
That's a thing. I finished the heel on a sock. Look, it's got a heel. It's got a
Very nice.
heel. So we got a foot of a sock. We've got a heel. This is one of the Star Trek Club colorways. No, I don't remember the name. No, I don't remember the name. But we're on to the foot. What I really should do at this point is double check and weigh the foot, like weigh what I've got left, so that I make sure that I have enough yarn for a second sock, and then decide how much sock I want to make. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I don't know why the heel took me so long. I don't know why heels take me so long. I should phrase that correctly, because heels, for whatever reason, take feel like they take twice as long as the foot of the sock, which makes no sense. I'm not even doing a complicated heel.
Weird.
There's no gussets. There's no counting rows. There's none of that. None of that. But for whatever
I don't
reason,
know.
it took me all week to do a heel. So okay,
Short rows are fiddly.
I guess. Who knows? But here we are. We're all compact. We're ready to go. And I'll weigh what I've got left to make sure I've got enough grams for a second full sock. And then I'll go from there. I think I do. I remember weighing it and saying, yep, no, we're good, but I want to just double check now that I've knitted a foot before I go ahead and make full length socks. Because obviously, if it's like a little short, then I'll just make shorties.
Mhm.
So there's that. Oh, I opened up my second skein from my spiderweb bag. So we should talk because we're in March. We should talk about February's club yarn plus the pseudo club yarn I made for myself out of my stash.
Oh, yes.
We should do that today. Sniffles included. Okay. Yes. I have a shawl and squares and whip it or rip it. That's what I've got left. So you can go.
I have a blanket and a sweater.
Good.
Sweater.
Excellent.
I did not make significant progress on this. I think last time I talked about this, I was 2 inches away from the armhole shaping, and now I am 1 inch away from the armhole shaping. So that's what I'm working on today while we record, but I've started into my second ball now.
Oh, good.
So this is a classic vintage pullover from the Hen Knits for Men by Beehive, book number 89.
Okay.
So this is just the back panel and 4 inches ribbing and so much stockinette. But then I still haven't committed to what texture I want to put on the shoulders.
Okay. So that's still up in the air.
And the answer might end up being no texture. If
I
I can't
mean,
make a choice, the answer is going to be no texture.
that in and of itself is a valid option. Like if you get there and you're still not 100% sure, just make a classic pullover. There's nothing
Yeah,
wrong with a classic pullover. They're classic for a reason.
I'm gonna do it with the little V-neck, I think, because I have that red like crew neck stockinette knit like store-bought sweater,
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
feel like, and since this is a reddish brown, not that I think the camera's picking that up quite accurately today,
No, but that's
but
okay.
yeah, I promise it's like a cinnamon red brown.
Yeah.
And I feel like with a crew neck, that would basically just be like the same sweater in a slightly different shade. So I'll do this one with a V-neck, so that's a
Be
little
like
different.
would be. I mean, it's not like I'm going to judge you. I'm literally making a second wood woes. It's just in a different color. And I
Yeah, I mean,
have a
there's nothing wrong with
purple
making
and
the
black
same
sweater.
pattern.
Like I have a purple and black commercial sweater. They're the same bloody sweater in different colors.
Nothing wrong with having the same sweater in different colors. I just feel like this color isn't different enough to have the exact same sweater.
Fair.
It's like the same sweater with sunglasses on. Like, I need a little more contrast.
Just a
Oh,
smidge
so the,
more?
the other
Just a
one
smidge
doesn't
more?
have, I mean, this
It
one
won't
has
have
way
the
more
same
ribbing
vintage
than any
vibe.
of the modern, yeah, like 4 inches of ribbing is a lot for a modern sweater. So that'll be interesting to see how that fits.
I'm excited to see it done. I can't wait. It's so
I'm
good.
very excited, and because it's a pieced sweater, I'm gonna do I'm doing the fit thing where I'm making the back panel
Fit the
in
back?
the size that fits my shoulders, and then I'm making the front
Uh,
panel in the size that
uh,
fits my bust, so that
uh-huh.
everything actually fits nicely. I'm
Uh-huh.
very
Isn't it
excited.
exciting?
I'm very excited. So this is
That's
gonna
my
be an actually
favorite
like
part.
nice fitted sweater,
It's my
fitted
favorite
it like a
part.
relaxed fit.
It's still a better fit than the oversized super drapey fit we tend to go with just cause there's such a dramatic difference between our bust and our shoulder
Hmm.
measurements. That's
Yeah.
I love that about pieced work. Oh, it's so customizable. Oh, it's so customizable.
So it's like it's just about long enough as is to be a cropped sweater, and I don't want it to be a cropped sweater.
No. Keep going. Keep going.
So yeah. Got
No, you can do
another
it.
inch or two.
Okay. Straight needles aside, because they click on things like armrests.
Yeah, I'm not sold on the straight needles thing. I'm doing it for the whole vintage vibe. Like these are vintage needles probably from the 50s or 60s to knit this pattern that's from the 50s or 60s. And I'm committed to the whole vintage vibe, but man, it's they're knocking on the arms of the chair and it's just like it's heavier and you're like flinging the sweater around on the ends of the needles and I miss my circular needles. I'm gonna do it for this project, but I'm going back to circular needles for
Go back to
subsequent
sleeping.
projects.
Fair, fair. I think I need to invest in some really good new needles that are
But I
straight, if that
coordinated my
makes
nail
sense.
polish again accidentally. I just
Why do
realized.
you do that?
I don't know. Apparently, I have like colored themes to my weeks, and I don't
Apparently.
realize.
Like, it is a common thing for you to do at this point. My brain's like,
Yeah, I didn't realize.
you are not consciously doing that.
Anyway, hashtag not sponsored. That's Devil's Advocate by Hollow Taco. Hey, Hollow
Listen,
Taco, want to sponsor?
you Hollow
Kidding.
Taco ever wants to sponsor us? We're down. We're down.
I'm
I
so down. I
could
have too much already.
absolutely use. No, no, no. I could use some really nice nail polish.
It is nice nail polish. I fell prey to the Instagram advertising, but it's actually good.
All right, in the thumbnail, I held up my sister's shawl because I finally made it through the first round of skulls. Skulls.
Goals.
Hey, look at the pretty skulls.
Those are so cute.
So stoked. So, we're going to continue to make progress. I'm back in a gray space, which I tend to have problems with this open web instructions that they give. So I have to make sure to go over the skulls, less than an hour. The gray has taken me two. I don't know why the more complicated instructions in my brain are working and the less complicated instructions are not working, but that is how this shawl is progressing. So the gray sections are going to take me forever, and I'm just going to whip through the pink sections. The pattern is concisely laid out, so it doesn't take very many pages because it gives you the skull repeat and then it gives you the middle lace repeat, and then it says repeat till you run out of yarn.
Amazing.
So I'm just going to go through the repeats at that point, but I have to make sure my brain is understanding this gray mesh part well enough that I can start to do that thing where you've got a pattern partially memorized and you're just checking to make sure it's right and away you go. So,
hmm
progress. This is not done. My sibling's birthday was over a month ago by the time you guys see this. Because by the time everybody sees this, we're older.
Oh, that's true.
Oh, I forgot to mention the yarn for this. The gray is some Barocco vintage. We all love a Barocco vintage in this house. I think we love a Barocco vintage in your house too.
Uh, d- I do, but I don't have a lot of it. I think I keep giving it away.
Stop giving it away, crazy
I
lady.
know. I know.
And then we've got some the bunnies are for like the this is fairly freaksome or the bunnies frighten me. I think it's the bunnies frighten me. It's a Buffy
Yes,
Club
Fairly Freaks was a
colorway.
green.
Right. So this must be the bunnies frighten me. For the skulls, which is just freaking. It's a classic gr dark gray, light pink pairing. However, my
Love the
sister's
Y2K pairing.
it is a beautiful Y2K pairing. And my sister looks really good with a pink. She's got the right undertone of skin for it. So,
hmm
she knows she's getting one. She knows I'm running behind schedule, and she's fine. That's not a problem because everybody say with me, she is a now 5-month-old puppy at home.
Ha.
We're in the chewing phase of our existence, so she's happy if her really pretty new shawl doesn't get finished in a rush till we're done chewing everything.
Uh-huh.
And I said, that's fair given the speed I'm currently working on it. McCoy might be done chewing everything under the sun by the time I'm done. So it shouldn't be, it's not a problem. It's not a problem. She knows she's coming. She knows it's for her 40th. She knows it's a nice shawl. She knows it's a hand wash shawl. But yeah, the last puppy update included photos of passed out puppies because she's got like a 2 or 3 year old, I think 3-year-old husky.
hmm
So it's not like she just didn't do puppy face. She just did puppies. Like she just finished with a puppy. And McCoy is 5 months old. There's not a lot of breaks in her day schedule. There's a lot of go, and then there's a lot of time to update me when everybody's passed out and napping. But apparently, we're polite when we nom on humans, but we are in the chewing phase. Like, okay, fine. I mean, it's a phase. Kittens go through it too, where they chew because they're teething,
hmm
essentially. So, like, Phaedra did the same thing when she was little. All dogs go through that phase. I'm just happy to skip that phase, is what it is. I'm happy to skip the phase. I don't want to be there for that phase. I'll go visit when we're fully house trained and we're just about done chewing on everything. We'll be a
Good
bigger
plan.
puppy, but that's a much more me-sized or me-aged dog frame. So which also means I've got more time to finish the shawl. So slow and steady progress happens. I think it's back to you because I've got one thing left before Whip It or Rip It.
All right. I did, by progress marker, a whole one row on this blanket. I'm so excited for the day when I finally wound all of the minis and scraps because they're all like in little mini skeins that I threw into the bag.
Mhm.
And so as I pull them out, I wind them. So eventually they're all going to be wound and I can just pick something out and go and I don't have to stop and wind things for half an hour.
I feel like you should just do a winding stream where we all just babysit you and make you wind your yarn.
Maybe, although I'm like nearly done at this point.
I
So I've done a
can.
whole one
It
row.
is not the only project that gets delayed because you haven't wound the yarn.
This is true. I just need to make like a big box of like, this is all the yarn you need to wind for your projects in progress.
Well, you do this thing where you're like, I'm going to start a project, but I'm only going to wind the ball I'm currently using. I'm like, don't do it. Don't do it. Just wind it all and be done with it.
I know, I know. So I pick my next color. It's gonna be this fun raspberry red, pink, magenta. I don't
Pretty.
really know what this color is.
I like that
It's
color
like
though.
right on the line between pink and red.
Oh yeah, but it's good. It's a good color. It's going to look good in the next color section from what I
Yeah.
glimpsed. Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
it'll
yeah.
look
That's going
good
to look
next
so
to the.
good.
And I've picked through some of these earlier colors I realized are extremely variegated, so they've left the box or the bag because they don't work so well.
Yep. The rose, you're
But the
changing colors too
solids
often.
work so well. Yeah. Like you can kind of see this color here is like it's kind of like red, but it's also kind of like not red, and it just like changes too much throughout the entire row, and it's too much. For a blanket that is meant to be too much, it's like it's too much, you know?
It's too much for
So
your too much blanket.
it just well, because the whole point of this blanket is to see the stripes, and if you put a variegated yarn on top of the little thin stripes, then you just lose the stripes.
Yes.
So solids.
Solids.
Solids or tonals or speckles all work very well. Yep. Anyway,
Guys,
still very much
Patreon
enjoying it.
was trying to talk her into another blanket this week.
They're not even trying to talk me into blankets. They're going, "Hey, I'm working on a blanket." They're not trying to talk me into anything. They just keep posting their own blankets and I go, "Want." And that's how that's going. The last one was even a circular center out thing, which is a thing that I said I never want to do again.
I
And I
know,
looked
I
at it
know,
and I went, "Want."
I know. You're like, don't tempt it. I don't need
So
another blanket. My response was, are you sure?
well, see, I still have all this whole bin of fingering weight minis that need a project
Uh-huh.
because they don't fit in any of the current scrappy blanket projects
They don't.
because they're too varied for this blanket. And I'm doing the Jelly Roll blanket scarf, but those I'm doing like earthy neutral tones so that it goes with my coat.
Hmm.
And these are all like really bright fun colors that are like self-striping and stuff. So
Hmm.
like I don't really know what to do with them. I'll do something fun with them. Very fun stripy socks, perhaps.
Maybe, yeah. Yeah, because you could
Scrappy socks are
do
always a good time.
scrappy socks are always a good time. You'd have to knit more socks.
Yes, well, I'm having fun with my fingering weight blanket projects at the moment, so.
Okay, okay. That's fair. I suppose that means we're back to me. There's a knot in the ball of yarn I'm working with. Why?
Oh, I 100% forgot to say what pattern this was. This is the
Yes.
Incredible Blanket by Pearl Soho. It's a free pattern on their website. I've been very
Ah,
bad about
yeah.
saying patterns.
Well, I don't remember the name of the skull shawl, so I just call it the skull shawl. I heavily rely on you for linking stuff for me
Everything's linked in the show notes. If
because
you're on YouTube, there's timestamps.
I don't remember. I don't remember. I sent you the link for the shawl, but I just want to call it the skull shawl, and I don't think I'm too far off the marker for it.
Yeah, it's something like that. I
Oh,
also
okay,
don't
so
remember because I haven't done the show notes this week yet. Go figure.
there. Legit. Why? Why is it? Why? Why? Why yarn ball? I don't recall saying that this was okay. I don't recall giving you permission to be like
Is it
this.
tangling or running away?
It's one of the Karen Cake anniversary cakes.
Does it
Oh my
have a
God, I
random
totally
knot and
lied.
might have the color repeat?
I have oh, I don't, that doesn't matter. That's completely irrelevant. I have a sock I need to talk about that I totally forgot, so I'm gonna have to go twice. Because you're down to whip it or rip it.
I'm down to whip it or rip it.
No, it does this thing like sometimes when you're working with balls of yarn and you get that little a little tuft of yarn around the
Oh yeah.
strand. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
done that now somehow when it was wound up. So okay, I need to deal with that. Let's talk house sock, the bulky sock, then we'll talk squares, then we'll get to whip it or rip it. This is how life works, people. I forget it. And it was literally hanging off of the armrest that I'm currently using to help keep myself upright. So
Oh
there's no
goodness.
reason why I should have forgotten it when we were talking about how many projects we have to talk about this week. And yet,
Tisk tisk.
I found my bulky house sock. I put it in a project bag, which is why I couldn't find
Wow.
it.
Like you put it in a nice safe place.
I put it in a nice safe place. I put it in such a safe place that when I was like, oh, I want to use this really cool project bag that Asa sent me because it's got the crocheted pumpkin look. Like it looks like
It's
crocheted pumpkins.
adorable.
That
Love
freaking
that.
cute. Oh, I
Yes.
love Halloween so much. And I opened it up and turns out, hey, there's already a sock in here. Well,
Who knew?
balls. Alrighty. So I continued making progress. And I have a lament, and it's not about ribbing. I know that's where you thought I was going
Okay.
to go because we all know I'm doing ribbing up the leg of this house sock so that I can do very minimal to no shaping, right?
Hmm.
I didn't want to have to deal with it. I have had to add some stitches in as I go, which I thought I might have to do because, well, let's be honest, I have the kind of um, calf that swimmers dream of owning. It's sturdy, it's solid, it's got power, but it's a lot to knit around. Sometimes wide calfed boots aren't wide enough for my calves. And Diana can tell you there's no give in my calf. She's solid muscle.
This is true.
Just she's gets me around from place to place. She carries me everywhere, my legs. They are very strong, they're very sturdy, they're very muscly. I like my legs. I also acknowledge that they need extra stitches because they're not a slender calf. So I've had to, and I knew it meant I was going to be ribbing forever in a hot minute, but I have my foot, we have the heel, super fast, and then
Nice.
all this ribbing.
That's so much leg. Oh my God.
And
That's
you
so
lose
much
a,
ribbing.
well, because it cinches up so tight, right? So when you put it
Yeah.
on, it widens out and then it shrinks. So it looks like it's a freaking way too long, and then I put it on my leg and I'm just about at my knee. Now, okay, to be fair, store-bought house socks only go up two-thirds of the way up my calf to my knee anyway. So like the store-bought tall socks you guys can get are not
Hmm.
tall enough unless I buy them from like the tall girl store, which I don't do. So I knew I was committing to a metric boatload of ribbing, but I forgot that when you're doing the ribbing, because it's so cinched, when you put it on, you lose a bunch of height when it stretches out. So until I've worn these socks for a bit, they won't be fully stretched. So they look stupid long. Look stupid. And it's still not my freaking ankle to my over my knee. I want over my knee so I can bend the cuff down, right? And I have a nice
Hmm.
cinched cuff at the top. So I still have a ways to go, but I did get a lot done.
And then you've got a whole other sock to do.
Don't say things like that. You are not nice.
I'm sorry. I'm so
I will put
mean.
blanket patterns in the pattern links, woman. Do
Oh
not.
no.
Do not. I will play
Oh
mean.
no.
I will play mean. Yes, no, I have another sock to go. So as we record on Fridays, this is a Friday. You guys will be seeing this on Wednesday. If I manage to get this done today, I'll put it up as a finished Friday post. I love how this freaking striping is going though. Like, just look at that.
It does
Just
look
look at
so
it.
good. That's
It looks so
great.
good. This is out of a Karen cake anniversary cake that was gifted to me by the wonderful Susanna. who's an OG member. She's a old school original crew. She's actually, I think, yeah, she's the first person we met in person because of the podcast.
Yeah, way back.
Way back in the day. Suzanne has been with us for a really long time. And I love her presence because she keeps me in stitch markers, people. And it is great. Though speaking of stitch markers, I ran across my body parts, my rainbow colored body parts
Hmm.
the other day.
Yeah.
Tickled me pink. Tickled me pink. I was so delighted. I was like, oh my God, where have you guys been? Okay. All right. So there. I have yet more leg. Trust me, I'll take a photo of the sock on my leg so you guys can understand just how much length is lost to go around my calves. It's
We're also
so
gonna
much.
need some lifestyle shots when these socks are done, you know?
Yes.
Like lounging on the couch with a cup of tea and a book kind of
Well,
deal,
it'll
reader,
it'll be
whatever.
uh it'll be my legs on the coffee table because I have a chair, not a couch now. But yeah, next to a cup of tea and a book or something and some knitting going on, I will absolutely get you some lifestyle shots. No worries.
Nice.
I have enough length between my legs and my knees that I can actually take them myself. So there's that. All right, I'm gonna have to bend over, so this should prove interesting. To get the last thing. Oh, dizzy. Goodness gracious. All right, let's talk squares. The Granny Square Challenge. You guys are gonna be so sick of hearing of this by the time December rolls around.
The weekly Granny Square
Continues.
update.
It is a weekly Granny Square update. This weekly Granny Square update is brought to you by Fabric Totes. Fabric Bag. It's one of the 12. Okay, so you guys hear us talk about Patreon a lot, and that makes total sense. We do a lot of stuff over on Patreon. One of the things that we do with Patreon is all Patreon members are eligible. Sounds very professional. Uh, have the opportunity to sign up for random yarn exchanges, like yarn exchanges, and a advent calendar exchange. This year, I was paired with one of the Patreon members, and she sewed me these bags. We decided to go for a 12-day Advent exchange instead of a 24-day Advent exchange. So that's an option everybody gets to make with their partners once they get them. It is a double blind pull, so I write all the names out on numbers and then I give the numbers to someone else to pair up. So I don't even know who I'm being paired with until I get back and match the numbers back up to the names, right? It's about the only way to make it fair as far as I can tell. So in here, I have a bunch of squares that I've made this week. Why? Because I couldn't. I needed a break. I needed a break from assembly. I was going stark raving mad. So I still have some assembly to do. There's only so many squares one can assemble in a solid fashion for a long period of time before one loses their mind. So instead, this week, I made a boatload of granny squares. Because they
That's
need
a
to
lot of
be made.
squares.
Like, they need to be made. So I did an hour's worth of making granny squares every day. Where's my other hand? There's my other hand.
It's a lot of squares. Love
It's a
that
lot of
green color.
squares. It's a lot of squares. They had to get done because they need to go into blankets, and I absolutely needed that break. So I can go back to assembly this week, and it doesn't feel like it's quite so oppressive in my brain. Like I was picking up the squares to work on, and I was immediately trying to find something else to do, which told me I needed to switch it up and just go make squares for a while. I'll do the same thing next time I need to take a break from assembly, and I'll just make a bunch of beige squares, right? So I'll just sit down and plow through a bunch of beige squares next time I need a break from assembly. So. That's fine. We're over the halfway mark on this blanket anyway, so I'm still doing good. Because if you think about it, when I'm done assembling the squares I'm working on, I'm 6 out of 9 big squares down. And
That's
I'm
most of the
making
blanket.
and I'm making squares for the other big squares I need to make. So like I'm over 50% done a blanket I started in January, and it's a king size bedspread. So like I'm making
That's
good
impressive.
progress. I'm making some good progress. So I'm very happy with that. I'm still technically 3 hours behind because the last 3 hours are to finish assembling the squares that are almost finished. Like I'm almost finished 3 big squares and I've got 3 hours worth of work left on them to get them done. So I'm still technically 3 hours behind, though I did mark off the February squares because we're in March, so I can be 3 hours behind in March, right? It's fine. No one's gonna
Hmm.
die. So that's okay. So there we go, which is good because I had to eat up 14 hours that I was behind and I'm down to 3.
Whip it or rip it.
Whip it or rip it. Let's talk about progress. Good news is I figured out what it is I'm going to put up for you to vote on for me for this week. So that's a start.
Oh,
Do you want me to go first?
sure, if you like.
Oh my God. I needed to work on my granny square blanket. Granny square blanket? Corner to corner granny blanket. So for the podcast anniversary, we're making blankets. Look, I got the, can I point? No, where's my arm? There's my arm. See that? See that Karen cake there? That's the second Karen
Hmm.
cake. We're working on podcast anniversary blankets. Diana's doing hers knit corner to corner,
Yep.
and I'm crocheting a corner to corner. I decided to crochet my corner to corner in large squares so I wouldn't have a blanket in my lap for freaking forever,
Hmm.
causing me to melt to death. And then I'm just going to seam the squares. Seaming a big square is not a problem. My big squares are 30 inches by 30 inches. 3 of them makes a 90-inch across, which is a full bedspread for Jocelyn because I like a bedspread with enough drape on the sides of my queen size bed that 2 humans can sleep underneath and nobody's fighting for blanket.
This is smart.
Was
King
born
size
yesterday.
blanket on a queen size bed.
I was born the day before. That's fine. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. I moved that way years ago, and my blankets look I mean, Diana can tell you, my blankets look great on my bed because they look like the blankets you would see in magazine covers. And it's just
Mm.
because
Oh,
I
that's
went
what it
up a
is.
size. I just went up a size. It looks like a magazine
Because it
cover
just looks so
bedspread
luxurious. Yeah.
because I've just gone up a size from the bed I have. That's it. That's all I did. I mean, also I have too many pillows, but that's because I'm obsessed with pillows. That's a whole other thing.
Go up a blanket size and down a pillowcase size because then they look overstuffed, like very squishy.
Yes. Well, I also buy
Yeah.
like the hotel style pillows, so they're already kind of very fluffy.
I don't like the hotel pillows. I like a flatter pillow.
I like a fluffier pillow, but I'm a side sleeper.
Hmm.
So I like to
I'm a
have
sleep
that.
all the ways person.
Yeah. I am hardcore side sleeper. I'm hardcore side sleeper. I'm a hardcore side sleeper with sleeping issues because I don't breathe well. So if my head's at a slight angle, I breathe better. I'm less likely to
It's
wake up because I
great.
can't breathe. It's not
Hmm.
sleep apnea. It's just my nose is always stuffed. It's a
I feel
problem
that.
for me.
My nose has
Oh
been
gosh.
stuffed since January. Couple more months and I'm
Yeah.
almost at the arm shaping.
Oh, excellent.
It's very
So I
exciting.
had to finish. I had to finish. I opted to say I was going to have a second square done because I want to get this freaking bulky blanket done, and I don't want it to take forever and a hot minute.
Hmm.
Guess who finished your second square?
Yay! Ah, that looks so good.
We've got 2 squares down. I mean, it's not going to look really much different from the first square because I'm using the same colored yarn. Guys, look, it looks like the first square, only it's square number 2.
Hey!
I've continued work progress actually while we were recording today. I was working on square number 3 because then I'm 3 squares down and I have, 6 to go. Because I wanted to be done. Hang on, I'm gonna bend over. This is always fun.
Don't fall over.
I don't know which way is up anymore. Okay, I'm up. But I've been working on square number 3 because I finished this last night and I was in go mode. So I just started the next square because I was in go mode. And heavens only knows when I'm gonna want to put this project down again for a while. So I've got my third square. Sorry, my third square is underway.
Nice.
When you get going, it doesn't take long. And the rows never get really, really, really long because I'm only going 30 centimeters in length, and then I'm obviously decreasing down again. So
Hmm.
I should be, if I don't lose steam, I might get a few more squares done this week just to get them done so I could be closer to a finished blanket, I think is what I'm gonna do. This is really good for when I'm listening to the news at night. Like I sit and I listen to my podcasts and stuff, and I was learning about well, obviously we all know what's in the news right now. It's not fun. Uh, and it is what it is, and we have to deal with it, but it's not cool. But then I also listen to like not just the Tudors and Betwixt the Sheets and Gone Medieval and After Dark. So I get a lot of fun history podcasts
Nice.
in with my news podcasts. I have a lot of news podcasts, but I do get the history ones. We were learning about beauty and ugliness in ancient Greece on Betwixt the Sheets last night, which was fascinating. So fascinating. And beauty standards and ideals and stuff. So when I finished block two, I started block three because I was on a roll. And I'm like, you know
Why
what?
not?
As long as I'm on this roll, it's what I'm going to work on and see if I can get some more squares done because I'd like to have this blanket done soon too. I don't want it something that I'm picking up in the fall to finish. I'd like to be able to be putting it on my bed in the fall. Does that make sense? So I'm going to sit here and putter through my third square while Diana talks about her Whip It or Rip It because mine was a resounding success this week. Like just knocked it out of the park.
All right. I gotta reach around my microphone. Oh, okay. My whip
Uh-oh.
it or rip it was to get another like 6 or 8 inches on my dad's scarf.
Yeah.
This skinny, skinny scarf. So from fingertip to
You
center
had
of
to your
chest,
elbow.
roughly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now it's not in frame, but it's from from fingertips to roughly the middle of my chest.
Okay. I couldn't hold up all 30 inches of my square unless it's folded up.
Yeah.
So I get you.
So
I get you.
that's misleading how much progress that. So from there all the way up here is how
Good
much I
amount.
did this week,
Good.
which is lots. And now it means that I'm roughly halfway done.
Yeah.
Woo! And I still have this much left of the first ball, so this is gonna be a 2 ball project. I'm just gonna go for two
Nice.
balls, and
When we're done,
that's
we're
how
done.
long it's gonna be. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. It was so good. Oh, and then you'll be
So
done.
this is
And
this
we
is
can
a
start
40
pestering you
stitch
about this
stockinette
year's.
tube. 40 stitch stockinette tube out of, oh, this is the tweed one. The tweed red brown.
Is that the hot chili pepper? No.
No, this one's the cinnamon apricot spice
Cinnamon
from
apricot
Dragon
spice.
Horde. Yes. The sweater, which is like the solid version of this color, basically. They're subtly different, but it's very much a similar color. The solid version is Ancient Arts chili pepper chocolate that's going into the sweater. But this one was the reclaimed yarn from the librarian sweater,
Oh,
and
that's. I like it
is
as a scarf.
being made to fit a very specific request.
I like it as a scarf. I think it's very cute.
And I have not knit my dad very many things, so fine, he can have a 6 foot scarf. He deserves it. I love my dad. He can have a 6 foot skinny scarf.
I mean, I love my dad too. I would absolutely knit him a 6 foot long skinny scarf, but you've seen the size of my dad. I would need a longer than 6 foot scarf.
You would, yes.
My
My
dad's
dad is
taller
only
than
very
me.
slightly taller than me, so
Yeah, your dad's like my height range.
yeah,
Yeah. My
I can
dad's
steal his
is
shoes.
taller. I mean, technically so can I, but they're kind of big on me.
I, in fact, did steal my dad's shoes one time. Like, oh, I like these shoes, and they're mine now. And then they were.
I mean, I take dad's sweaters all the time, but so does my mom, so I don't feel bad about that.
My dad doesn't have sweaters worth stealing. Sorry, Dad. I don't like my dad's sweaters. I'll make him better sweaters.
Make them better sweaters.
Anyway,
I feel like that's
resounding
how it's gonna go.
success. I'm now halfway done a belated Christmas project.
Excellent. I have to look down when I'm doing the
Christmas in
start of the
March.
row 'cause such a problem for
Gotta
me.
line that up again.
Oh my God.
Okay, so what are you thinking for this week's Whip It or Rip It?
I'm feeling, I'm feeling like by the time everyone has seen this, we've had our birthdays. So you and I have to
Mm-hmm.
keep in mind that we have birthday streams this week. We
Yes.
have bonus content to record this weekend,
Mm-hmm.
and we have an Enid coming up for everybody's perspective this coming Saturday.
Oh, so fast.
Saturday, Sunday? When's the 15th?
Quick, computer, tell me when the 15th is.
We had to move
Saturday.
it. Yeah, we had
Yeah.
to move it up because you got a dance.
I'm away at the end of the month.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
you
had
have
a
a dance
dance
performance at
competition
the
the
end of the
last
month. Yeah.
weekend,
Yeah.
so we moved everything up a
And
week.
we want you focused on that and doing well while you're there. So I know we're doing the ENIT early. I know we're doing whip sprints early this month. It is in the program schedule. Go by the date. The date is correct. The date is correct. I think I stopped writing the day of the week because I keep messing it up.
Yeah.
So my
Yeah,
brain's
the
like,
numbers are
done.
correct.
Just leave the numbers. Just do it by the numbers and leave the days alone because apparently I cannot keep track of them anymore. Wow. Okay, I shouldn't have moved my head. So that's fine.
Well, don't do that.
So this week, I
Sorry,
think I'm
that's
gonna
very
go
helpful.
with smaller projects just because I know we've got the whip sprints, or so we've got the Enid from our perspective on Saturday. So I think I'll pick a larger project because then I can work on that for next week, right?
Mm.
So I'm going to say either my sister's shawl. I'll hold it up here again. So I feel like get through a skull motif. So like finish the gray, get through another skull motif and another gray section. So like be ready for my third set of skulls.
Okay.
Because I've got streams and stuff coming up, but I literally know on Tuesday for your birthday, and I mean this literally just happened from everyone's perspective. The Patreon members and you and I are chilling like a villain on Patreon, and we're just doing a birthday stream. So like I'll honestly probably work on it then. So I feel like that's fine. Or I can do, oh God, can I reach? Can I lean? Hang on. If I fall over, don't freak. Leaning
There will
is
be a minor amount of freaking.
leaning is sketchy. I held onto the armrest. It's fine. We're good. I don't know which way is up anymore. Or or I'm gonna work on my fingerless mittens, my fingerless mitten pattern. My fingerless mitten pattern.
Mm.
Which right now just has ribbing. So like we gotta get so like I would want to be through the ribbing. It's 3 inches of ribbing. We all know how long ribbing takes me. The answer is forever. The
Hmm.
answer is forever. So 3 inches of ribbing, and I'm still not entirely sure if this is the density of ribbing I want. So like I still might end up ripping this out and doing a smaller needle for a tighter gauge. Not sold on that.
Mm.
So I'm just gonna do the 3 inches of ribbing or onto the third motif of skulls. Through the third motif of skulls on my sister's shawl. That's what I'm gonna propose. Oh, we still get to talk about fun stuff. Oh,
Oh yeah.
oh. I put the thing on the project on the floor. I'm gonna walk onto it later. I just know how that's gonna go. Okay. How about
I
yourself?
I would like
What are
to
we
see more
thinking?
skulls.
You'd like to see more skulls? Okay.
I would like to see more
S
skulls. And you didn't do
skulls it
skulls
is.
this week, right? Yeah. Skulls was the
Uh-huh.
week before.
Mm-mm.
I would like to see
Um,
more skulls.
yeah. Skulls? Okay. No, we've learned that lesson. We
We
don't
don't do 2 weeks in a row.
we don't do
That
2 weeks back
that
to
way
back.
lies
That just
carnage.
is that way lies carnage. What are you posting for options? What are we talking here?
Well, I have just got to the point of arm shaping on my back panel.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
We could do arm shaping.
the full arm hole, I believe I measured it out to be 8 inches, which seems dubious.
That's a
So I'm going to say
lot.
4 inches, four
Okay.
inches of armhole shaping
Half an
on
arm.
that.
Half an
Yeah,
arm.
half an armhole shaping.
Okay. Okay.
Or do the entire heel section on the what are these? The Yukon River stockings, the
I believe so,
cabled
yeah.
socks, the purple cabled socks, because I'm
Oh,
into the
balls.
the gusset increases right now, and it's a style of heel that I don't know, and I have to keep the cable pattern going, so I'm gonna say do the whole heel
Yeah, because you'd want it
as a
once you've
goal for the
committed to the
week.
heel, you'd want to get the heel done so it's
Yeah,
done. Yeah, yeah,
because
yeah,
there's a
yeah. Yeah. No,
gusset,
that makes
there's like
sense.
some short rows. It's a whole heel setup that
It's a
I
whole
haven't
heel.
done before with the cables on the front. Don't mess those up. Yeah, it
Okay.
seems like a whole thing. I didn't have the brain cells for it this week.
I'm
So,
gonna go sweater
sweater.
because
Okay,
I know the biggest chunk of knitting you've got this week is going to be your birthday stream, and that's going to be a lot easier to manage while chatting.
fair.
I mean, you could do it because you can cable knit and chat at the same time, but adding in a heel you don't do, that seems like
Yeah,
stacking it.
that seems like I'm going to be pausing whatever show I'm watching to figure out the heel.
Yeah, whereas like that's probably better to do like in the morning after your cup of coffee out on the porch
If
sort
it
of idea.
was, yes, if it was not so cold.
Well, yeah. I mean, in this case, it's
Still
going to be
winter.
cup of coffee in the morning on the couch, relaxing before you start your day, but the sentiment's the same, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So no, I think the sweater's a better idea because it gives you a wider opportunity to get it done. I vote sweater.
Sweater it is.
Because I mean, I don't have to read the chat, so to look at the crocheting while I'm crocheting while we chat is nothing for me, but you have chat reading
Also
involved.
that.
All right. Shall we talk acquisitions? Do a Patreon ad and call her a day.
Yeah, I forgot to grab my yarn during the break, so let
Oh,
me do that.
okay. Let's start with Erin of Fireweed Fiber Co. because February is my yarn. It's my yarn. I'm calling it. This will be the sweater quantity for the year. This will be the sweater quantity for the year. Ready? Ready? It's not a spoiler, guys. If you're getting Erin of Fireweed Fiber Co.'s yarn, you've already gotten this. Look at this.
So yours is the tweed base, and mine is
Hmm.
the wild rye,
Hmm.
which is the non-superwash merino.
Yeah. Just like look at that teal and green. Look at that teal and green. It's the Jeep. No, it's a dinosaur. Jeep was
We
January.
have a
This is dinosaur.
T-Rex is the color.
Have a T-Rex. Yeah, it's a dinosaur. This, this. And I even know what sweater I want to make, so I literally just need to double check my yardages.
Nice.
And then Erin said she'll dye me a sweater quantities lot. So yes. Abso-freaking-lutely. I always
Kind of
get
matches
one
my
sweater
shirt today.
quantity. Who does?
It's a good color. It's a good
I get
color.
one sweater quantity a year, and I was talking with Erin, and it's really early in the year to pick, but she said of the colors that came out this year, that this would, yeah, she agrees that this would be the one. So that's what I'm gonna do. Very freaking stoked about it. Have you received your frosted fibers yet? So
Not
happy.
yet. Not yet. Soon.
Mind you, have you opened March? Because March is cute too.
I have. I have. Is
In
it time for a Patreon
these,
ad? Oh,
well, almost
sorry.
in the spider web bag of stash that got pulled out and wrapped for me to have for the year to open up as my second yarn club to inspire me to work on out of my stash. I need to flip my ball around. We have May from the half year in the sock yarn.
Ah,
So I'm gonna make a pair of socks because that screams cheerful sock color.
okay.
It screams cheerful
Very
socks.
cheerful.
But I wanted two pairs of socks, and the only way to do that is to add minis. So I went and I found some obscenely strong colored contrast yarn, but I don't know why it works. But like those minis,
I love it.
like they are such
Yes.
a bold choice, but for whatever reason, my God, they work. These are going to be such cheerful socks. Such
Yep.
cheerful
Yep.
socks. I'm going to do the toes and heels in the contrast color, and I'm going to probably make two pairs of shorties because I still am a lady size 10. So like I can't do two full socks out of one skein, even with two sets of minis, but I can do two pairs of shorties. So that's what I'm going to do. All right. Now it's time for a Patreon on because I had to show off my second thing that I opened up.
All right. If you would like to financially support these shenanigans, you can do so at patreon.com/northernitspodcast. Any level of support gets you access to our patron-only Discord server, where we discuss all manner of things at all manner of times, and I occasionally post TikToks that explain what breasting boobily down the stairs looks like.
We just had middle finger earrings posted.
It's a good time in there.
It's a good time in there.
YouTube memberships, I clicked some more buttons, so hopefully that's up by the time this is up. I'm trying. I'm trying. I'm clicking the buttons. I'm doing my best.
YouTube is a whole other can of worms. Did you? That's it? You're done?
Yep, I'm sorry, I'm done. I really got to dehydrate. I have needs.
Okay, here we go. As always, we super understand budgets. Yeah, they're a real life thing. If you can't financially support, liking, commenting, and subscribing is a great way to interact with us here and other social media platforms and to show us what you're working on. As Diana needs to dehydrate, I'm gonna go cool. Until the next time we see you, I'm Jocelyn.
And I'm Diana.
And no matter where your week takes you, don't forget to knit.
Don't forget to knit. Craft. God damn it.
Whoops, we both did it. Okay, you gotta
Do
go
we want to do a
dehydrate.
second take?
No.
Okay. All right.